Shalom. Shalom. All right. It's the brother Zachariah coming back to you with another lesson. All right. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel. Shalom to you brothers out there that are laboring, enduring the elements, making your body a living sacrifice, trying to seal the elect, making your call and election assured, seeking out your own salvation. To you sisters out there that are learning, listening, applying, being obedient to your husband. Shalom, shalom. All right. So want to dive into this article here. You know, if you don't know anything about me, I'm a huge wrestling fan. You know, like I came up watching it at a young age. One of my uncles put me on to it, and one of the first things I seen watching wrestling was Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant, which, you know, that was a very iconic thing, you know. And you know, the rest was history. I was glued to watching it. And my uncle, the one that put me onto it, actually became a wrestler, and he was one of my favorite uncles. When he passed, you know, he had passed some years back due to a heart attack, but he was connected with the OVW, which, you know, a lot of your wrestlers you see today, like John Cena, Batista, Brock Lesnar, trying to think who else came out of there. I'm missing another name, but some of the big wrestlers of today, man, came out of OVW, and my uncle, he was connected with all that, and he wrestled, you know. And it was crazy because, like, when he passed, I went to his funeral and everything, and like all these wrestlers, man, popped up, you know, to pay their respects. You know, real big guys, man. And it was crazy. But yeah, but anyways, back to this, you know, the lesson and everything. You know, this guy right here, Ahmed Johnson, you know, he was a wrestler that I actually liked watching him. You know, it was good seeing a lot of brothers, you know, inside the, you know, wrestling and everything, you know. He was one of my favorite, you know, because he was beefing back then with the Nation of Domination, which was led by Ron Simmons, also known as Farouk. You know, it also had Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown, the Godfather. He was part of it. But he ended up leaving WWE, but it was never gave a reason why. No one knew. You know, I didn't know if he got fired. You know, did he quit? You know, an injury. You know, to where he couldn't wrestle no more. What happened? You know, no one never knew. But, you know, and I was like I said, I watched him when I was young. Now here I am, you know, and it's truth, and you know, I'm almost 40. You know, but it says Ahmed Johnson says he left WWE because they wanted him involved in a lynching angle. And I'm like, whoa, what? So, you know, I dived into the article. I ended up sharing this on Instagram a while back, but I never got a chance to do a lesson on it. But it says in an exclusive for Wrestling News .co, Steve Fall interviewed former WWE Intercontinental Champion Ahmed Johnson. See, he was Intercontinental Champion. And it says during the interview, Johnson talked about how he was signed by WWE and the call he got from Vince McMahon, his run in WWE, and why plans for him to win the world title. Yeah, it was always said that, but it was said he was supposed to win the world title. He was kind of like, he was going to be like that Black Goldberg, because, you know, he was before Goldberg came on the scene, but he was supposed to be like that Goldberg type dude. You know, he had the physique and everything. Real good wrestler, man. I liked Ahmed Johnson. But okay, it says world title were derailed. His issues with Ron Simmons, the Nation of Domination, he was beefing with them. Look, Shawn Michaels and the Clique, why his run in WWE ended. WCW issues with Booker T and what Hulk Hogan said to him in WCW. See, I didn't even know he was in WCW. Scroll down to watch the entire interview. On WWE wanting to do a lynching angle and the racism playing a part in his departure. I think racism did play its part in it, but not from Vince. So he says it's not with Vince McMahon. He said from Shawn Michaels and some of the other boys. I mean, like, they did that thing with DMX I said DMX, Lakia, DX, which that was the group Shawn Michaels was part of, D Generation X. When Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation and the Nation of Domination was getting into it, and they wrote all that stuff on the wall, you know, that was pushing it for me, and I couldn't have done that. And the thing with the Truth Commission was what they wanted to do. They wanted him to hang me from a rope. You know how lynching is a very sore subject with black people, okay? Which we're not black, we're brown people, but we know our people don't know, a lot of them don't know the Israelites, so they still hang on to the term black people. So I'm not gonna just, you know, jump on them like, man, I hate when they do that. You know, they don't know no better. But to edify the flock and people that are listening, we're not black, we're various shades of brown. Like if you put the color black, you put a black crayon next to your skin color, it's not gonna be the same. But when you put a brown crayon, it'll look more similar because you're various shades of brown. Okay. All right. But back to the article, they wanted to hang me from a rope. That just wouldn't happen with me, brother. He said, I'll do any other angle, but the rope, question mark. He said, no, I didn't want her, his dying sister, to be in her last minutes watching me get beat up. She was a big fan, and then she passed like a day or two after that, after I left, so she would have had seen me get beat up and hung from a rope before she passed. That was not an image I was trying to put out. Not for her, not for the black kids out there, to anybody. That is going too far. Okay? And that's all I'm gonna read on this article. And if you don't know who Shawn Michaels is, this is him right here, because some of you might not be wrestling fans, but this is him. Look, he got the DX shirt on. You know, like I said, the group was called D-Generation X, and he was part of it. Him and a guy by the name of Triple H, you know. But this is Shawn Michaels. And a lot of people didn't like Shawn Michaels. Even Bret Hart didn't like him personally. You know, they said that Shawn Michaels was a very arrogant guy, you know, very cocky and stuff like that. Look, this is him now. Look, he done lost a lot of his hair and stuff. But, you know, they said he went through a whole lot of stuff. He went through a divorce, bad relationships, and like I said, he lost a lot of friendships too. But yeah, this is him, okay? And but we're gonna go back to the humble beginnings here real quick. All right, this is Genesis 27:41, and it says, and Esau hated Jacob. Okay, Esau was the forefather of which you see today, the Caucasians, the which we know them to be the Edomites. Okay, and Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites. Okay, your so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the Israelite foreigners. You might have Israelites that look like so-called, you know, like the Edomites. Okay, but again, it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Because see, Isaac blessed Jacob with the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, these days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. Okay, so Esau basically said that he was going to slay his brother. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go to Ezekiel 35, and we're going to start at verse 5. And it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. And when you look up that word perpetual, it means forever. You know, this is an everlasting hatred that Esau has. So even to this day, you might say, oh, some of these Edomites are cool, but deep down they hate you. They hate you, man. And they always want to see you at the bottom, because in order for their kingdom like to prosper like it has been, is us to be in derision, which is sin, and also you know, not knowing who you are, and you know, being reconnected with your God, which is Yahweh, you know. Okay, again, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. So he went around killing, you know, Israelites. Okay, you know, during his time as the Greeks, Romans, and stuff like that. You know, when he came over here and did what he did to the northern kingdom, went to West Africa to get the southern kingdom, and all that. You know, it's a lot of killing he did. Okay, the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, which the sword was his blessing. When you go into Genesis and read it, you know, I did lessons on it and everything, but you can go and read in Genesis how his blessing was the sword. Okay, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So he kept killing us and doing all this stuff to us even after our iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, this is Yahweh speaking, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Okay? So I had to bring these out so that you understand, you know, the humble beginnings, you know, because obviously Shawn Michaels is an Edomite. All right? You know, Esau came out red all over like a hairy garment. And let me pull this picture back up of Shawn Michaels. You know, you could look at him and see, you know, all right, this guy's red. Look, he got red clothes on. You know, they matching. His outfit is matching his skin. All right. And then like this one right here, he's got white on, you know, white pants. He got the white wristbands. Now, if you, like I said, like with us, calling us black people, put a black crayon to us, you know, and you're going to see that you're not black, you're brown. Okay, just like this. You just got, they will call themselves so-called white people. But if you put this, you look at his garments, his wrestling attire, I should say, and you match it to his skin, it don't match up because he's not white. Okay, he's actually red. Okay, all right, there's another precept. This is let's see. All right, I'm not going to read that one. We're going to go ahead and go to Psalm 73 and verse 8. Okay, it says, they are corrupt and they speak wickedly concerning oppression. Okay, and this is talking about these Edomites, even some of these other nations, but really predominantly Edom, because we know Esau, Edom who's ruling today. But it says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Okay, so if you don't know what the word loftily means, I pulled it up. Okay, and it says in a way that shows you think you are better than any other people, or it says, than other people. Okay, and this is how Esau thinks of himself. He believe that he is better than everybody else. You know, he really think he's better than us, but he think he's better than everybody else. Okay, and so, you know, they wanted to push that lynching angle on Ahmed Johnson, and he wasn't going for it, man. And I commend him for that, because you know some people will coon out and go with it. All right, you know, this is DX here, and Shawn Michaels, I think he was injured at the time. I don't think he was involved in this, but when you look at this, you know, look, they did the whole blackface and all that. You know, look at this. It's madness. Okay, they did the blackface and all that. All right. This is an article here. It says D'Lo Brown, which he was part of the Nation of Domination that was beefing with DX. It says share his thoughts looking back on the controversial DX Nation segment. D'Lo Brown stopped by Insight with Chris Van Vliet, okay, this week to discuss his thoughts on working with Tom Hannafan, The Rise of the Rock, and looking back on a controversial DX segment. Okay, and let me scroll. I don't care about all that. I want to see what his thoughts were on the all right, here we go. D'Lo on if there was a trepidation about the segment where DMX made fun of the nation. He says no, and there has been a lot of stories out there. I can tell you that none of us had any real concerns about it, he revealed. Hey, except for Ahmed Johnson did. He says, oh, in retrospect, we could have done that segment without the blackface. See, yeah, and that's true. You know, and I wish we had, it would have been just as good. Obviously, I wish we changed that, and we didn't. He says, looking back on it, okay, in 2022, I'm not a fan of it, but in 97, 98, it was a way to get us to go to war. Both the factions were over enough to and connected to the fans enough that we could go out there and draw money, build houses, and put up ratings on TV. We look at the potential matches in that picket our curiosity. I think people look past the obvious elephant in the room. All right, and that's all I'm gonna read on that. But you know, Ahmed Johnson felt some kind of way, and you should. You know, when you go back into history. Look at this. Our people, man, were lynched and put to death. Look, this is our people, man. Look at this. This is what happened to our people, man. So he didn't want that angle pushed on there. All that for ratings. But you know, when you look at wrestling and all that, there's nothing new under the sun. All this stuff goes back to even Rome, you know, as entertainment. You know, bread and circuses. I know you heard that term, you know. And, you know, look at this, man. You can just keep scrolling and seeing all this. Man, there was so many. And even when you look up and they tell you the numbers of how many people were lynched, that man, it's those numbers, you know, it was way more than that. A lot of that probably wasn't even recorded. Imagine the killings and stuff of people, and that stuff was never found or recorded or seen or whatever. There's no records of it. But they slaughtered a lot of us, man. And Ahmed Johnson felt some kind of way, which I can't blame him, okay? You know, like I said, DX did the blackface, man, and you can just look. This is some of the things that they've done, man. To mock and make fun of us, give us those red lips and stuff like that, man. That's crazy, man. Like I said, this lesson wasn't supposed to be really long or anything. I'm going to bring out this last scripture, and I'll end it on this. But it's just showing you, man, you know, like, you know, people, you know, no matter where you go, even, you know, you get high in status, man, these people are going to show you who they are. You know, even on my job, there was a lady, she was really, really dark skinned. Like, I mean, she wasn't too far from actually the color black, you know, she was a very dark woman, but she was a very dark, that dark chocolate brown, like it was real, real dark, you know. But she still was a very, very pretty lady, man. Older woman. She kind of reminded me of my grandma. Got a real good spirit on her, and she was one of the supervisors in one of the departments and everything. And but the plant manager, which is a woman, and she's supposed to be she's an Edomite, but she's a so-called Christian. But she went to her and was like, and she works in the printing department. She deals with like this with the paints and stuff. So she was messing around. Let that ambulance go by, okay? And there was one of the orders she was getting ready to do was dealing with this black paint. And the plant manager made a comment to her and said, "Look, this paint matches your skin. It's black, you know." And she looked at it and she tried to ignore her, but she kept repeating it like she wanted her to hear that. And she felt some kind of way, and that's when I was telling her. And I don't believe I was in the truth yet when this happened, but I was telling her, I'm like, man, some of these people, they don't like us, man. But you start to realize it's all of them, man. You know. But I told her, like, some of them they don't like us like that, you know. And people they thought something, you know, thought that woman was a good woman, the plant manager, because she's supposed to be a so-called Christian woman. She got the hair pinned up, wearing a dress, but they don't love us, man, and they will show their hatred. You know, eventually they're gonna show you. You know, scriptures tell you never trust thy enemy. You know, but this is Amos 1:11, and it says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof." Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, like I told you, I read in Ezekiel 35th chapter, okay? Because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity in his anger, did terror perpetually, see? And he kept his wrath forever. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to visit you, Esau, Edom. You know, Ahmed Johnson, man, you know, I commend him, man, for taking off, you know. And he said, and he was bringing out some stuff on Shawn Michaels, man. You know, because a lot of these people, these Edomites, man, they're going to show you who they really are when it's all boiled down, man. That racism, you know. This is why the scriptures also says anyone that's joined unto him will be thrust through, you know. You know, you're going to be destroyed, man. You know, come up from among them, my people. All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor and all glory and all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel. And shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. To the next one. Shalom.